Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to TLR episode 55. As always, Joey and Issa here. I would say, Issa, hey, how you doing? I know how you're doing. I'm sending you my best to feel better. We're both still under the weather. This is like a
Thank
weird freaking, yeah.
Well, my voice is kind of back. I had no voice all weekend.
Yeah.
It came back yesterday, and I was like, okay, if I start streaming, I will lose it all again. So I rested it yesterday.
Yeah.
This is a test run to see if I'm ready to go because there's a part of me that thinks, okay, what we do is not that difficult as long as I have a voice. And when the doctor told me you have strep throat, I was like, oh, that's just great because we're sitting down. It's not like it takes a lot of energy, but I do need my voice, and I need to be somewhat in a happy
It does
mood.
take energy too, though, to be on camera and,
Right.
beat up, and I get it.
Right. But I kind of predicted it. I might have jinxed myself, and I see some people in the chat like calling
Yeah.
me out because I do tend to get sick after every big event.
You
But
always
I
do.
really, I was even taking emergency and everything because I knew the drastic weather change was gonna do a number on me. Like I went from 90 to 20 back to 90,
Yeah.
and that's just never good. But guys, it ended up being strep throat, which is, I mean, I don't even know how I feel. I thought it was COVID, and then it's strep throat, and then it's just being a mess. So I'm just happy to we're gonna give it a test run with TLR.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun. There's a few topics here that we have today that we can kind of go deep dive into. Some crazy stuff, some Hollywood gossip, I guess you could say. But I guess we can kind of start off with let's see where we want to. Let's start off first talking about Macaulay Culkin. We're in the season of Christmas. We're going into the holidays. We're in December. First off, before we even do that, how the hell is it December?
I don't know. I got a message from somebody today that was like, "Oh, have you manifested your 2024 goals and reflected on 2023?" And I was like, "Why would I do that?" And then I was like, "Oh my god, I need to do that. Like, I need to work on my vision board for 2024." I cannot believe that we are like it is crazy. By the way, do you see my Roman necklace? Look,
I
it's a
love
Roman.
it. I
How
see it.
cute.
That
I'm
is
a mark.
amazing.
I'm a mark for my dog. Sorry.
That's what. That's perfectly fine. I think we all offer our pets or animals. I am like flabbergasted that it's December. I feel like it was just July, then it was Halloween, and now like Christmas is in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I wanted to I think it was this was a different message from my Lucha Libre Online group because last year I did like a quick short edit and
Yeah.
shout out to everybody in the chat with us. But last year I did like a quick short edit of my 2020, what year was like 2022, right? And they were like, "Oh, are you gonna do it again this year?" And it took me a little bit to put it together, and I'm like, "Yo, I really need to start working on it because I I think time is flying. I don't I have this crazy conspiracy theory to myself that the days don't have 24 hours anymore. Like
I
I just
agree with
don't
you.
know where time goes. And when the time changed here for me, I was like, oh, I gained an hour. Like for example, before for me, we used to go live at 3. Now we go live at 4. So I'm like, oh, that
Yeah.
gives me extra time to. No.
It
It's
feels
all
less
the
time now.
same. Yeah, it's like I don't even understand. Like sometimes I'm like cutting it so close to make my streams or to make this, and I'm like, how? I do this every day at the same time. How am I keep running out of time? Like it's not a time management thing. I feel like time just flies, and
Samantha, you said it perfectly.
yeah, I agree. The older you get, the faster the years go. And I don't know. I saw somebody post like a don't blink picture of them and their kid is now an adult. And it's like, it is just crazy how fast time is going by, especially. I mean, I feel like we just celebrated our birthdays and now we're planning on maybe having a birthday party together in Tampa. Who knows?
Who knows? Hopefully we're both good by then. As I'm coughing, as I say that.
I hope everybody in the chat is wearing their mask because
Yeah.
you're dealing with some goodies over
Yeah,
here.
we are like just two people who are barely being able to function, but we're here for you. We're here for TLR because we love this show. Um,
I got everything I need right. Like I have cough drops, I have
there you
sore
go.
throat spray. We're ready to go.
Yep. Let me ask you this because I started struggling with this about a year ago, last year, and this year it's already happening. Seasonal depression. The sun goes away here. Literally, it's going down now. It's 3:00 here by me. It's going down now. What time does it go down by you? Because I know that you're in like the world of
It always
freaking
goes
Chicago.
down at the same time. It actually goes down a little bit later.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because I used to experience it a little bit more, or maybe a little bit harder when I lived in the States. Obviously, I lived close to you. I lived in the East Coast, and I went through that. When I was in Chicago, I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like when I went to Chicago for Survivor Series, like I have bad PTSD, but I think it's called seasonal depression, but I also think like it can come on different forms of it. Like I'm going through it with the holidays, for example. Like the other day I was sitting in my living room and I'm like, why put up a tree? It's just me and my dog. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that is a part of that. I'm like, I'm gonna probably celebrate Christmas at my mom's. Like, why go through all that when it's just me and my dog? And then I'm like, I don't even know how it happened. TMI. I'm heavily medicated right now, but I'm like sitting there, and then next thing you know, you're like crying because you're like, I'm alone. Why would I celebrate Christmas? Like, it just escalated, and I'm like, am I going through seasonal depression without experiencing the season? I think so.
Well, Issa, I will tell you, anytime you have those moments, FaceTime your boy. We got this. I'm here with my cat. I put my tree up. I did a whole thing. And you know what my idea, my reasoning for that was, and it's kind of to your point. I was feeling that around like Halloween time. I was like, I don't want to decorate for Halloween. People don't come here. Like I have my family. That's pretty much it. Like I don't have people come over the house. I don't have, a girlfriend or a wife to kind of like be here for that. So like, what am I doing if I'm wasting my time? Like, and then after Halloween, I realized, you know what? I feel like I skipped Halloween this year. You kind of get like a dopamine boost from having those things. It brings joy and comfort and whatever you want to call it. So when it came to Christmas, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go all out because maybe that can help with the seasonal depression. Maybe that can help with all the other stuff, that you just described. So, maybe it's a good thing to have all that stuff up.
That's a valid point. I see that. It's just like, I feel like we all experience it in a different way. And I feel like a lot of people, it's like, oh, you don't even have the seasons. I'm like, it doesn't matter. There's like certain things that will hit you in a weird way, and then you realize it's like, oh, it's that time of the year.
See, I grew up here and then I moved to Florida when I was 10. And I lived there until after college. So like I got both worlds. So I was able to experience, and you the same, but you lived here and you also live in paradise. So it's,
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Then I moved to the Midwest, then to the East Coast, and now I'm back over here. So the Midwest, in my opinion, is even worse than the East Coast when it comes to like seasonal depression and it getting dark out and the cold. I feel like it started, I lived in South Bend, Indiana. I used to hang out in Chicago a lot. And I feel like it started even sooner over there than it did in New York.
Yeah. And here, like it's 30-something degrees out. The sun's already going down. Like for me, it feels like the day is over. Like what do you don't want to go out. You don't want to do things. Like I'm trying to
I do remember those days. And it's like, I remember in the summer, you will get home and get changed and like you go back out, right? And then I remember when I would work in like this time of the year where it was like, once you got me in the house, I'm not going back out. I don't care what you're bargaining me with. Like, I am not leaving this house. It's that time of the year where people just don't want to leave the house. And like, people like that's why spring feels so cleansing. You know what I mean? Because people go through so much of the, I don't want to leave the house. They put on the winter weight, like, a couple of winter pounds because you just stay home and you were lazy. But it's like, who the hell wants to go out in that weather? A penguin, maybe, but not a human. And you never get used to it. I am somewhere in limbo myself. I think it's like, I literally spent half of my year here and half of my year in the States, in cold states. So I'm somewhere where I'm like, I can handle the cold and I can handle the heat, but I'm not used to either one. Just does that make sense? Like I'm in weather limbo where it's like, okay, you can take me to 20. Like when I walked out in O'Hare last week, it just felt like home. Like it felt normal to me. Like I was there with the photographer from Lucha Libre Online who hasn't been in a cold weather environment in so long. And he was like all wrapped up. And I'm like, it's not that bad. Like I'm sitting here remembering, I'm like, for November, this is pretty good. Yeah. But at the same time, like I'm not like, oh, I embrace this. but the summer here is also miserable. So you get also lost in like weather limbo.
Yeah, like you like what you don't have at the time, and it switches, and
Yeah.
regardless. But staying kind of on the topic of Christmas, Macaulay Culkin is kind of the topic here for this part of the show, we'll say. Getting his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. First off, I would have thought he had one already. I feel like we've
Me
had this
too.
conversation about other people. Like, there's so many people who don't have one already that you'd be like, what? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see his speech or the whole ceremony of him?
No, I didn't.
When you get a chance, go watch it. It's probably a couple minutes long. You probably find a TikTok. I'll send you a TikTok or something. So I don't know the lady's name, but the lady who introduced him is the mom who played his mom in Home Alone.
Oh,
so it was like a full wholesome,
that's amazing
moment. And she talked about how he was such a great kid, and talked about the movie, and then kind of said that he deserves this and all his hard work and everything he's been through. Then he comes up and he starts talking about his journey. And he got really emotional. I don't know if you know this, but he's married to Brenda Song, who is from Disney. She was
I didn't know that. All that I know about him is that he's really good friends with Paris Jackson. I do know.
Yeah, he was there.
Out a lot. He was there? Awesome.
Yep. So Brenda Song is London Tipton from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, for those who are, 90s babies. But so they have two boys, and he talked about basically how outside of his two boys, she's one of his top 3 favorite people, and he was really, really like emotional, and like it was really like a nice, wholesome moment. And then he ended it with we're in the season of Christmas, so Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Like it was so great. Yeah. But
I love that.
To see someone like him, who he really had, I don't know if you know, but he's had a very tough life. Battling
and that tends to happen with kids that start at that age. It's actually a sad reality in Hollywood, the fate of a lot of these kid actors. And he's such a sorry, somebody's driving by with very loud music. Welcome to Puerto Rico. The child actor topic, that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people didn't know about his struggles. He went MIA for a period of time. Remember when you wouldn't hear anything about him? But it doesn't matter. He can't really not be in mind, especially this time of the year. A lot of people go back and watch, their favorite Christmas movies. Who hasn't seen, Home Alone? And I would have thought he would have been there, and not just because of Home Alone. He was everywhere when he was a kid. My favorite movies by him are My Girl. I mean,
I love that movie.
I still love and hate that movie. I can't go back and watch it still. What was oh my God, where he played the evil nephew? That movie is so good. What was the name of that movie? Was it The Other Son? Oh my God. I know this is it's a dark movie, and I remember everybody was like, what is he doing? Hold on. I think it's The Other Son. If you guys haven't seen it, that movie, no, it's not The Other Son. All right, I gotta look up his movie. You talk about him for a second.
Did you ever watch the show, or anybody in the chat? Have you guys watched the show Succession recently over the last year? Okay, so Succession, honestly, one of the best shows I think in the last couple of years that I've watched. His brother
is Good Son. Okay, sorry. The Good Son.
You're right. You
guys have not seen The Good Son. He's so evil. And I remember everybody was so shook because he always played this good, Home Alone, My Girl character. Yeah. And he did such a good job on that movie. It's one of my favorites. But I automatically don't go to Home Alone. I go to those two movies immediately. And then I think Home Alone. But Home Alone is a classic that will forever live in Christmas movies times.
He had a hard time because of doing those movies, because people like him, or Daniel Radcliffe, for example, or even Hilary Duff, who are
Haley Joel Osment too. Remember, he was everywhere, and then we didn't hear about him. People started bullying him because he grew up and it wasn't as cute as he was when he was a kid. There's so many people that we owe apologies back in the day where people thought they could get away with saying whatever they wanted.
Well, with these child stars like Macaulay Culkin or like I said, Hilary Duff, Daniel Radcliffe, they're widely known for one specific role. Hilary Duff is known for Lizzie McGuire. Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter. It's so difficult for them to get other roles outside of that that has to be a bad mental game, especially as a kid.
At least Hilary Duff was able to get a freaking TV series and movies out of this. Like
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin is just like the Home Alone movies, or like
Yeah.
I just mentioned Haley Joel. He was just the Sixth Sense boy. I see dead people, and like every time people saw it, it's like, oh my god, I see dead people. He had a lot of other good movies in his resume. I remember he did that AI movie with Jude Law. I love that movie, but that's what you associate him with, and I think that's part of what causes them to like have it a little bit rougher later on in life. Yeah, he was in Signs too. Signs, such a good movie.
Yeah, so that whole moment, I guess, was really like a nice heartfelt Christmas, I guess you could say, moment. Seeing Macaulay Culkin finally get his flowers and see him doing well and having his family there and really in a good spot. It's like one of those wholesome like celebrity moments, like you see, like for example, we're going to be talking about Britney Spears in a little while. Not her.
Also wholesome stuff. No, I'm kidding.
But these are people that you want to see them win. We've been a part of their struggles and their career since they were little. So to see them win and have these moments, you're like you feel like you're like a cousin or something. Like, you're like, finally.
There's so many people that you want to see do better, or that you root for, or I don't know. We always turn it back into wrestling, but we're witnessing it now with the CM Punk return to WWE, and so many people are just like, let's give him one more chance. Why not? People that were speaking about him very negatively, like just months ago, it's just like it's very. Why would you purposely want somebody to have a bad ending to their life story? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I personally am a big believer of the energy that you put out is what you get back. So why be like negative or wish like, man, people are just loving it.
It sounds like an ice cream truck going by.
When I finish this podcast, I'm gonna get on my car, I'm gonna roll the windows down, turn my radio all the way down, and just drive around the neighborhood, ruining other people's dreams. But yeah, I just don't understand why anybody would want to purposely wish somebody's journey to end negatively. I know people like, because I'm kind of bitchy at times, but I'm a sucker for everybody getting a happy, like a good ending to their stories, or you know what, the ending that you deserve. Because at the end of the day, if what you put out is what you get, whatever you deserve is what you will end up getting. And that's just called karma. I think it works in weird ways, and I just want everybody to have the success that they're seeking for.
And also, like, us being the viewer or the consumer, whatever you want to call it, we're watching this take place, whether on screen or in real life. We get entertained from it. So why wouldn't you want to be entertained? Why wouldn't you want to see like the ending to Rocky, like the good heartfelt moments? Like, those are the moments that we look for in whether it's professional wrestling or it's a TV show or a movie. We're not looking for sad endings. If you're looking for sad endings, you got other things you need to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking for those wholesome, happy, like winning moments, Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us also say, oh, people can change. And when people try to show change, you can't block it. You have to allow them to show whether they can change or not, because you can't be an advocate for people change if you're going to be the first person that says, oh, they're going to go back and do the same thing. Like, no, let's give them a chance. Like, and this is just in general. Like, don't advocate for people change if you're not willing to find out if they can truly change.
Exactly. So let's jump to this next topic here. There's really no way to transition to this topic because it's not really a topic that we talk about. There are gaming channels on this network, the Know Your News network. There are so many different podcasts and shows. Grand Theft Auto is coming back out.
It looks so good.
Like a pivotal memory of my childhood.
Oh, I love Grand
Another one. Oh, Dylan Matthews. Don't
read that out loud.
I gotta put it up. Yep. Thank you for the super chat, Dylan. Issa wants everyone to finish their story. You heard it.
Yeah, I thought that Cody's story finished at WrestleMania with the rubber chicken. I don't understand why people still think it's not finished. Okay.
I loved your response to one of my tweets last night. You were like, delete this.
Because I couldn't live stream, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, you know what I haven't done in a long time is watch wrestling on Twitter.
Yeah.
Which I gotta tell you guys, FYI, watching anything without opening social media is such a much better experience because social media will have you think something you enjoy is not enjoyable if you like.
Out of it.
Right, but I was like, well, if I can't live watch, I would live tweet, which is what I used to do. I would record my reactions and upload them later. And because I have 90% of people muted, you kept popping up. Fun fact, I don't have you muted, Joey. Congratulations, you're part of a very.
You're like the one out of all the other wrestling media content creators that have.
But you kept popping up. So, but yeah, you posted something all like melancholic about Cody, and I was like, delete this, please. I'm like the code, like not even the coding could get me to read that with a straight face.
My vibe last night was all over the place. Like I was having so much fun. Like I was like that whole segment with Shinsuke, like. We both been humiliated or something like that. And
I love how we interpreted that completely different.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good topic of debate as well.
Well, it was about losing the Royal Rumble, winning the Royal Rumble and losing at WrestleMania. That's what it was about. Mm-hmm. They were showing footage of that and everything. But I just tried to go like take the comedic route and be like, oh, he's really just talking about, you know, Shinsuke being with Rick Boogs and Cody being Stardust because those both were humiliating.
Bro, Shinsuke will make such a good GTA like character.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah. Shinsuke, like they should have oh my god, Shinsuke would be so badass in GTA. Like I will hang out with Shinsuke.
That's a good question to ask. Well, I'll ask you. You kind of brought that up. I'll ask you, and I'll ask the chat. If you were playing the new Grand Theft Auto game, because we're gonna talk about that now and what happened with it. If there's one wrestler that you would love to have as a character in that game and play as, like, who would it be?
Obviously, Tony D'Angelo. He's already Mafia.
I mean, I guess that's wow. That was quick.
He went to prison. It's gotta be Tony or Dom. They fit the static. They know what's up.
I feel like for me, it'd be Damian Priest. I feel like this big tattooed guy with long hair, like this badass dude.
Damian Priest looks like a freaking he looks like a freaking Grand Theft Auto character. Freaking
the Judgment Day in general. Like,
bro, Cody Rhodes will get ran over in the first freaking 5 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
There's nothing that says I'm street smart about Cody Rhodes. Like, listen, please, like, keep him over there in some other video game. Put him on Fortnite. You know what he is? Cody Rhodes is a Fortnite skin. The gear, oh my god, Cody Rhodes is Fortnite. Damian Priest, that's Grand Theft Auto, baby.
I could see Sean Ross is in the sap. Sean Ross is in the sap. He's in the
Sean Ross is in the sap.
Yep, that's my brain fog coming in today. He says Eddie Kingston. Now that would be a good one. But imagine you playing
outside of a bodega selling you cigarettes. You know, you seen that guy, and that's Eddie Kingston. And you know what? You wouldn't F with that guy. I've been to those bodegas in New York. I know what I'm talking about. You will not F with that. Eddie Kingston is the guy that every girl, and I will stick to this, every girl has that friend that if you F with them or break their heart, that's who they're getting. That's the vibe that I get from Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is the kind of guy that I will run to and be like, he broke my heart, and just sit back and just let it happen.
Back to your Cody point, I could totally see like Cody staying in the middle of the street doing his whoa, and a car just
book it.
There's Issa. There's Issa, and she's got her finger up out the window, like, you ain't the one.
Listen, I experienced seasonal gaming depression at the end of that trailer when it said coming in 2025. That's the only game that I will be excited for. I used to game a lot. I don't play anymore. That game will get me to play again. And I saw the trailer. I got mad hype, and then it was 2025, and I was like, why would you do this to me right now? And I feel like half of the internet felt the same way too. But the trailer looked clean. It looked sharp.
when I first watched the first few seconds of it, I honestly thought like, is this a movie coming out? Like a Grand Theft Auto movie or a show? Because the graphics were incredible. Like it looked legit real.
Yeah.
And being from Florida, like seeing all those spots, they have Wynwood in there, they got Miami, they got all these places. I was like, wow, this is going to be a fun game. Like we've had those before in the games, but to have it as realistic and have a map just as big, bigger than what we've normally played with. Like you, I'm not really a gamer either, and I play my WWE 2K games when they come out, and a new Grand Theft Auto when it comes out, and it's been like 10 years, so we're due for one.
Yeah, it's about time. It's about time.
The whole point of this topic is the trailer was supposed to drop today, and it actually got leaked last night, and then they just Rockstar just went with it and was like, all right, we'll just it got leaked, so here it is. Like they didn't even try to hide it. They went with it.
Bro, MD in the chat just said Los Santos, and I was just thinking about Santos Escobar in Grand Theft Auto. 10 out of 10. Especially with this new attitude that he has.
Yeah.
Santos gives you cartel vibes right now.
Oh, he does. He does. You ever watch the show Queen of the South?
No, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's such a good show. You got to watch it. It's on, all the seasons are on Netflix.
Oh my God, Joey, when we get to what did you watch this week, I actually have things because I was in a comatose all weekend. So all I did was binge watch things.
Well, we'll talk about that because I have there was actually 2 movies that I watched on repeat like 6 different times when I was completely dazed. So we'll get to that. But Grand Theft Auto coming 2025. I kind of figured when they said like, I kind of figured it was going to be over a year out because, that's how they usually are with games. It's not coming out next week or next month.
Yeah, they did the same thing with the Terrifier 3 trailer.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, I don't know if we have time to get into that, but it's also causing all kinds of controversy. We'll see if we have time to bring that. But they released, and it looks like it's going to be a Christmas, horror movie, which I love. My favorite Christmas movie is Gremlins. Let's keep it real. So, but it's for next year. And I'm like, why would you put this out there right now? Like, I get it. It's the right time to release it. Would have been the holidays and it coming next Christmas, but it upset me.
I never asked you about this, but did you get a chance to see that Thanksgiving horror film that came out?
Yeah, I saw it this weekend.
Yeah, how was it? Did you enjoy it?
It was good.
Yeah,
I actually enjoyed it, I didn't have the medication with the addition to enjoy things. I actually enjoyed it vibes.
I might have to indulge in that movie.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Go watch it.
I think it's called Thanksgiving, right?
It's called Thanksgiving. Yeah.
The movies they're coming out with today, like
if I was gonna make a horror Thanksgiving movie, it would be like about the old days of Black Friday.
Yeah, like
I'll start the horror movie like with a really nice dinner and family gathering, and then they're gonna go shopping the next day.
Yep. Oh man, let's this next topic. I saw it and I saw it and then you had sent it to me after, and it was a head scratcher. It's regarding Serena Williams.
Oh God.
She's using her breast milk to heal her sunburn. And it works, apparently. Have you ever heard of it?
How do you know that it works? How long has she been putting this titty milk on her face? Because sunburn is going to go away. It's going to start healing better. Like, whatever happened to just put some aloe gel in the fridge?
Put some cream on that, whatever.
Well, she put something creamy on it. That's weird.
I mean, like, if you could tell by my skin, like, I have a history of sunburn and
a week of using. Okay, you know what? I've been having. So it is under her eye. I'm sorry. I will give you the context. I had a spider bite under my eye, and it's been bothering me for like 3 weeks now. Now she's saying this milk is cure her sunburn after a week, and I'm over here like, do I need to go and rob some freaking mother right now? Because I've been putting like So my mom is like, well, don't pick at it, because
Yeah.
it wasn't a pimple, it was a bite. And I think it was like a spider bite. I Googled, then I got scared because you Google anything and it just leads to death. So you have to
you're
stop
automatically dying every time you look something up.
But the concealer is helping, but it's still there. It's just slowly have gone down on its own. I bought this like ointment for like a bug bite, and that helped it. But like not even my depuffing ice creams, all that, like nothing is helping it fully go away. Now I'm over here looking at this. She said after a week of the milk, it went away.
You know any moms?
I don't have any friends, Joey. Anyway, my trust issues have put me in a bubble where I just don't talk to anyone.
I get it. I'm there with you.
But
this is my socializing time of the week.
The week that you weren't here, we talked about how Patrick Mahomes used the same pair of underwear and he only washes it like when they lose, right? So I decided to Google live on air other like weird things that athletes do. And Serena Williams wears the same pair of socks without washing them throughout a tournament. And now I read this and now it's just making her, it's getting weird, guys.
What did we had a topic on the show months ago. I don't even know at this point. We talked about someone using breast milk for something. Remember that?
Yeah. Damn. Why is titty milk a repeating subject here? It shouldn't. It shouldn't be. I'm not gonna stop calling it that.
Anybody got some?
Because we're adults. Because we're adults, damn it.
Yeah. Some things will still pop us. It's fine. Titty milk works. I don't know.
Sean says a lot of football players drink breast milk for bone density. I
don't know.
Bone density, Joey.
Kudos to Sean for putting on a WrestleMania caliber match.
That was so awesome. That was so awesome. I had so much fun watching that.
I watched. There's like 2 or 3 clips that have been going around social media. I may have watched each of them 100 times each. The one he's like, I don't know wrestling moves.
You Mark.
I'm sorry. I couldn't do it.
I got in a ring. It's fun. You should try it. You come to Puerto Rico. I'll take you to a trusted wrestling school. Don't kick your ass a little bit.
Let's do it. I can.
I got power slam, body slam on my first try, and he didn't even tell me he was gonna do it. I'm like, oh, this is fun. But I enjoy pain. I'm a weirdo, so.
There's a gym probably 15 minutes from me that I go there and I hang out with Enzo Moore. Yeah. And I've asked him, like, could you like throw me around? And he's like, that's not a kink of mine. I'm like, dude, you know what I mean?
It's so ridiculous because when I did my vlog and I want to do a follow-up, but when I did my vlog, I was going to a gym every day, 2 hours a day. Like I was like, oh, I'm in shape.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same. Like I know a lot of people talk about being in ring shape or being in ring ready, which goes to give Sean like even more shout outs because he's so busy with everything that he does. So to take the time to get in ring shape, because I learned the difference real quick. And I can tell you, it is a whole different perspective once you're in and you start learning and you start like going through things. But I remember like I learned how to do like the roll-ups, right? Forward, backwards. And I learned how to run the ropes. And I was like, okay, this is great. I'm good for today. And they were like, that was the warm-up.
Yeah. No, there's a difference of being physically in shape and then being in ring shape because you're not, you can go to the gym,
I can out cardio anyone. And I'm telling you, like the warm-up, I already felt like, okay, I think I got enough footage for a blog. Bye guys.
Yeah. But to take bumps and to know what your body can handle, like that's where that practice comes in because you can be in the best shape of your life. You look like Braun Strowman out there and then one bump on your back and you're like, I can't get up.
It's the first person that comes to your mind when you think about being in the best shape. It's Braun Strowman.
I don't know. I saw a video of him on Instagram today, and I was confused as to when this video was. Go look him up on social media. I know he's been out. I don't follow him. He grew out his hair again. He looks like he's over 350. I don't know what happened. He's doing karaoke and stuff on his Instagram.
Listen, they're allowed to have a life, Joey.
No, I know, but
Anyways,
that's why it came to mind.
we went off topic, but literally people
Wait.
should definitely not only go out of your way to find the clips and you, if you have Fight TV Plus, which I have, I watched the match. You can watch it there, and if not, at least donate to NAMI. Sean did this for a really good cause, and everybody should go out of your way and donate. Every little bit helps, and he did it all for charity, and that alone deserves a big shout out.
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing out of it is the charity work. You know, like to be in his, and you said it before, to be in his position, being so busy, and then taking the time out to do it right. Not just to get in there, but to go in there, learn it, practice it, get in shit, do everything he had to do. And then
I was so delirious on Saturday that I literally felt like I was in a comatose state. And Sean, like I give him all the crap in the world, but he's like, I'm really close to him. He's one of my best friends. And I sent him a message, and I'm like in the middle of my almost dying. I was like, good luck with your match tonight. Sending the message, and then I go on social media and I look. It was during the day. I literally had to get up and like crawl to find my iPad to watch it, because it was like the show had already started by the time I sent him that. I'm over here like, who the hell wrestles during the day? Because I spend the day to drink coffee. Nobody does that kind of things during the day. But I literally had to crawl to find my iPad to be able to watch it, and then I as soon as it ended, I passed out again. But I shout out to him, because I was like, good luck tonight. And then I was like, oh my God, the show started. This is happening right now. Like, where do I even live?
And shout out to Brian for his gear. Sean's gear was badass.
I love the fivefold, in the knee pads and the ass.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And I love Chaz. I thought Chaz did an amazing job. And yeah, shout out to them. Good, all good stuff. Like, we talk a lot about the negative things, and in this show, you guys know we like to keep it positive here or there, and that's something that should be just shouted out. A match for charity. They have fun. Everybody look great. Let's freaking go.
Let's freaking go. Let's get to the main event of this show. Britney Spears back in the headlines, not for anything that she did.
No.
This is I don't know. It's a sad topic.
It's not a sad topic. It's karma. I told you it works in very weird ways.
See, I didn't want to.
I said earlier in the show.
I knew you were going to go there. I set it up.
No, I said earlier in the show, karma will work its way. Whatever you put out, it comes back to you. Karma, baby. Yeah. Tell them the headline, Joey.
So Jamie Spears, not Jamie Lynn Spears, because that's who I thought originally when I first read it. I was like, oh wow,
it would have been karma too.
Jamie Lynn Spears, exactly. Jamie Spears is the father of Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears. He, I guess he was going through some health issues. Turns out he had his leg amputated recently, and he's dealing with some health issues. Karma, Issa says, I believe it too. There's a lot of.
Dylan says it's the scalpel, okay, and that popped me.
Oh man.
No, not to go off topic here. We'll get back to it. But did you also see, speaking of karma working in weird ways, did you see that the cop that murdered? You know what I'm going, right? 22 times stab in jail.
Yeah, I don't like to wish ill upon anybody or anything.
I don't
like
either. I told you what you put out, it'll come back to you. So sometimes I feel like these things happen for a reason.
Yeah. Hope the knife was okay.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess the guy was really just trying to end him, but it was one of those homemade knives, so he couldn't, and he's gonna be okay. But things happen, and we know the story between, especially after the Britney memoir, and not even the memoir, some of the things that she said in court about how they took advantage of her and the things that they put her through. I didn't know that her dad was struggling with a lot of health issues, which is what they use as an excuse to pull her from her Las Vegas residency. So, excuse me. So he was struggling with like kidney issues and all that, but now it's led to him having a leg amputated.
Yeah. This is something that I feel like I've not struggled with, but I've learned to deal with over I would say the last 10 years of my life, where I firmly believe in karma. What you put out into the world, whether it's good or bad, comes back to you in some shape or form. If you're out here and you're in these streets doing bad things and you're hurting people, it comes back to you.
I always tell
At
people
some
too,
point in your
because
life, it comes back.
a lot of times you want to like slap someone and punch them and do all that, but I always tell people, and you can ask some of my close friends, where I'm like, just let it go.
Yep.
Because whatever these people deserve, they will pay for it eventually, whether you find out about it or not. Trust me, just manage to just
Yep.
give out and do the best that you can to be a good person, and these things won't happen to you.
Yeah. I used to be a quick reactor, and now I'm like, you'll get what I don't need to do anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. I'm also like, don't interfere with it. It's almost like Final Destination, and that don't interfere with it. It will get to them.
And when you interfere with it, it ends up getting you too.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Butterfly effects of everything, but I wish I would have been a fly on the wall when Britney found out about this.
Yeah. And they're saying the TMZ article that we're referencing is stating that maybe this will bring them closer to kind of reconcile a little bit. Do you think that this kind of thing, I guess, topic can kind of help that? Or do you think that Britney's kind of like, I don't really want to be around you?
I don't know, but I'm also kind of like a little bit petty, because it's like when she was like in a freaking mental hospital, whatever I just called it, in a mental hospital. I meant to say hospital and institute at the same time, making up words here. And they were filling her up with lithium and all these medications that she wasn't even supposed to be in, where she was like a zombie. Did anybody feel bad for her? Did anybody go and say, let's make this right? No. So there's that part of me that's also, like, I don't know if she should reconcile with him or not, but I also can. My dad wouldn't do that to me, but I also couldn't picture my life without my dad. So I can feel like it will have to take a big mess up for my dad and I to just fall apart without trying to fix it. Like, I can't think of anything that my dad would do right now that I would be like, oh, I can never forgive you for this, because I love that man so much. So, it depends on from what perspective we're looking at.
Yeah. And in the article, deeper into the article, it actually says, as we reported, Britney's been trying to mend fences with her family as of late. She invited her mom, Lynn, to LA over the weekend for her 42nd birthday party. And we're told that they were getting along great. They've been talking on the phone for weeks and are forging a new relationship. And then she invited Jamie Lynn to the party, her brother Brian. So it looks like it goes on to say that she misses her family, and now that she's told her truth in her memoir, she wants to reconnect.
Listen, we were just talking about karma, and karma would like get these people on its own. So you can mend ways with them or not. Have you ever been done wrong with someone and you still manage to have a civil or somewhat relationship with them? You're just on a weird, guarded. Listen, I speak with you, will be civil, but I'm never gonna trust you again. You know what I mean? That is one of the biggest things that I take away from 2023. It's like, and I know I call them trust issues, but it's just like, I'm going to keep you over here, And she can mend ways with them because she didn't do anything wrong in this story. And I don't know what it will be like to be without your family. Because in her memoir, on the beginning, you can tell this was a very close family. At least her mom and her siblings. Her dad always seemed to be a little bit distant from everything.
Focused more on the business side of his kids opposed to being a father. That's kind of what it seemed like.
Right, but he would also I started reading it. He would also pick fights with the mom. He would drink a lot. Britney had to listen to that when she was little. He's always been the odd one out in this family. And I also feel like she's the closest to her brother based on what I gathered from the memoir.
I didn't even know she had a brother for the longest time.
Because he's not in the...
Yeah. But the idea here is you can forgive, but you tend to not forget.
Right.
Yeah. And
forgive, but don't forget. I think it's I always say, forgive, don't forget, get smarter. That's all you can.
Yeah. The first time someone does something to you, you forgive them, but you don't forget, and you smarten up, you toughen up, and
I will say, though, the older you get, the less opportunities you give. It has to be somebody that I really care about for me to give you an opportunity after I feel like I'm done with you. But back in my 20s, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's under the water, don't worry, and you keep messing with the same people that are not your real friends. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. Like,
But see, that's why our circles are so small now, because
yeah, but my circle, it's like I don't even have a circle. It's like
hey, you're in my circle, damn it.
you're in my circle too, Joey. You're not muted.
Yes. I swear I'm muted by so many people. I tweet so much. Sometimes I'm like, I'm annoying. Like, I don't
It
know.
doesn't matter though, because it depends on whether they're on their following or their for you algorithm.
Yeah.
But you don't show up. You only show up as much as they interact with you, because I noticed today I saw a lot more of you, and I feel it's
Yeah.
because we interacted a lot last night. But
Exactly.
I sometimes I had to go and manually search some people because
That's
I don't really
Instagram too,
see
by the
them
way.
on my Oh, Instagram I changed it to, like, every time I log in I changed it to following.
Yeah.
I haven't been on Instagram in like 3 days. That's how you know I haven't felt good. I think I responded to your message from 2 days ago last night. Like, I was gone. I was gone.
I
But
get
don't
it.
worry, I'm back. This is my trial, and I feel like I'm doing good, even though I've sprayed the thing. Now I have a cough drop in my mouth, but I think I can survive it.
You're doing great. You're doing great. You look great. You know, all goodies.
Joey, you're the best.
I know how you feel, because I feel like that a few weeks ago too. I'm still, I can't even tell you. I'm still recovering. Like, I was so, I had to. It sounds horrible. I literally had to reteach myself how to walk. I'd been in bed for so long that when I got up, I was falling over, because I
Oh
was
my
so
God.
like, I was so, my
Yeah.
mind was so foggy, and like my body didn't have like physical energy, that I couldn't even stand up. I was like literally falling over on myself, like I was
Yeah.
drugged or
Due to living alone, I had to like get up to do certain things, and I was like to go get my water, get medications, and this and that. And I think that's at least Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I told you, like, not for nothing, guys, but my mom had to do the care package showing up in my
Yeah.
apartment Saturday. That's how sick I was. Like, and
Yeah.
that never happens. And I don't ask for help. So my mom realized I wasn't talking very much. She realized I didn't go live on Friday. It's
Yeah.
really funny. That's how my family keeps tabs on me. If they know that I didn't go live, they know I don't have anything going out, that when I'm going out or something like my family automatically knows if I cancel a stream, something is wrong.
Yeah.
So my mom literally did the forcing me to like let her take care of me, where she was like, "Is that we're on our way?" And I'm like, "Mom, I can't even let you. I can't even make it down the steps to let you up." She's like, "Toss the key over the fucking window, but we're gonna come take care of you." Shout out to my mom for doing that.
You know what was my saving grace though, during like while being sick? Chicken noodle soup.
Same.
Yeah, the chicken broth.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. But and any other I don't even know what I was saying there. But what have you been watching since you've been
Oh my God, too many stupid things. Like, first of all, I watched the new Squid Games. The new Squid Games, the
Yeah.
challenge. Have you watched it?
No, I never even watched the Squid Game show.
Well, the old Squid Game was really good, like the show. I like the reality TV, but I think the pacing of it is very odd. Like, I think it's dragging a little bit for me, but they got me invested enough to still watch it. But it's like waiting for people to get to the games, that takes too long. But it's fun. I think we have a super chat.
We did. The professor, right? Am I getting it right
Yeah,
now?
the professor. That's
Let's see,
right.
I'm learning. I'm getting these things. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Now, depending on what they did to me, if they go low, I take it right to the floor with them.
Sheldon has spoken, baby.
I love that. I love that. The professor spreading some knowledge on TLR. I love that.
There's a reason why we call him the professor around here.
I love that. Thank you, Sheldon, for your super chat.
And shout out to Jared. Wonderful update on his nephew.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so I watched that and I thought it was compelling, but I think there's a lot of things that Netflix does that can be like tracked down, especially when they do this episodic series. Like, I watched so many of them. Like that one, going back to like that Pepsi, Where's My Jet? That could have been a movie, and they made it into like 4 episodes. And I was like, there's a lot of stalling, but they make it interesting enough that you have to watch it.
Yeah.
I watched Bad Surgeon. Have you seen this? You know, I watch his documentaries. You know, I'm a geek like that. It's about this like It's crazy, guys. It's on Netflix about this surgeon that was like, they made the story about how he like fooled his fiance, but this guy was doing some messed up things. He was putting this plastic trachea on people and selling it as, if he puts the stem cells, it will make it to, it would adjust to you so your body wouldn't reject
What
it.
the hell? Yeah, it's crazy.
But that's not what was happening. All of his patients, except for one, ended up passing away, and the one that didn't pass away had to have the plastic removed. So like the nerd in me is like, okay, the fiance story I found so freaking stupid because it was like ABC. The fiance was a producer for NBC. They were filming a documentary about him doing one of his surgeries, and that's how they met, right? Hear me out, Joey. This guy started like taking her out. They would travel the world. They got engaged. At some point, he starts telling him that he's part of a secret network of doctors and he attends to celebrities. He tells them that he tells her that he's the Pope's personal like doctor. And then he tells her that the Pope is gonna marry them. If I fall for that shit, there's no way in hell I'm going public with that story. I'm an idiot.
It's a Jeffrey Dahmer type thing.
I'm an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm here, girls, but not like that. Like, where was your friend telling you, what kind of idiot are you? What are you, a stupid sandwich? Like she didn't have good friends. Like, all their friends were just so mind blown by the extravagant and the name because he was so known. Like, how are you gonna let your friend really believe? Oh, and they were, by the way, she wasn't a Catholic, and they're two divorcees. I grew up Catholic. There's no way in hell that if you're a divorcee, they're gonna marry you Catholic in a Catholic church again. That's not how it works. So, but she really thought that she was gonna get married at the Pope's summer residence by the Pope, and that what's the name of that really? That Bocelli guy was gonna walk her down the aisle. Like, she really believed this.
Nut job.
And then she was mind blown when the guy still had another wife and a mistress, and he's like, I mean, she couldn't believe that, but you can believe that the Pope's gonna marry you. So the nerd in me ended up looking more of like what the doctor really did, because I'm like, we're focusing way too much on the BS love story that she should have not fallen for to begin with, when this guy was really messed up, and he ended up like getting convicted for, but the sad thing is he only got convicted for 2 of these cases, manslaughter and all that. But it was an interesting watch, to say the least. But I just felt like, I'm like, if you're watching it with common sense, you would think that she also looks like a complete idiot.
Yeah.
And I watched another Netflix documentary called Escaping Twin Flames. If you thought that Bad Surgeon was a bad trip, this is the worst thing I ever did. And just go watch it. Just go watch it. Like, it's like a cult. It's basically a cult. And then the cult leader looks like the missing young buck. And I could not unsee it the entire time. I'm like, why does this guy look like Nick Jackson? And why do people listen to what he has to say? He looks like a young buck. How can you lead a freaking cult?
Not so young anymore, right?
No, I call them the midlife bucks.
Midlife crisis bucks.
Yeah. But like, listen, I fell down, and then somebody was like, "Oh, if you thought the Netflix version of the Twin Flame was bad, go watch the Prime." So I did. It's even worse.
Isa, we watched completely different things this week.
I lost faith in humanity after watching these 2 documentaries, by the way.
You want to know what I watched? I watched 2 different movies this week.
Okay.
One is called The Family Switch on Netflix. It's with Jennifer Gardner and Ed Helms.
It already sounds too family friendly for me.
It was the most ridiculous family friendly movie I ever watched. So basically, it was Freaky Friday, but the daughter becomes the mom becomes the daughter, the son becomes the dad becomes the son. And it was just like, how do we get through school? How do I do a job? I'm in high school. It was Freaky Friday, but the whole family.
Wow, Joey.
Yeah. Now, there were a few moments I popped in that movie. A lot of 13 going on 30 references because Jennifer Gardner.
Right.
And Ed Helms, I think there might have been some Office things in there. Being Bernard. I also watched, I don't know why I did this to myself. It's called Candy Cane Lane.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
On Amazon. It's Eddie Murphy's new Christmas comedy movie.
Oh, I thought it was a horror movie.
No, it was a Christmas movie, and I don't suggest watching it to anybody on here because I wouldn't want that bad karma back to me.
Well,
Samantha says she got 20 minutes in.
as far as movie goes, I watched Thanksgiving, as I told you. By the way, the really crappy new Exorcist movie is on Peacock. I did tell you guys don't pay for it at the theater, but now you can watch it and see why I hated it.
What an odd time to promote an Exorcist movie, like during Christmas time.
Exorcist is a Christmas movie. The original Exorcist happened during Christmas. I can do a whole video on Christmas movies that are Christmas movies and nobody considers them that. Because when people ask me, oh, what's your favorite Christmas movie? I'm like, Gremlins, The Exorcist. Like I mentioned like the darkest of things and people are
Die
like,
Hard.
What's wrong with you? But yeah, The Exorcist happened during Christmas time, if you go back and really think about it. But yeah, that movie made it to Peacock. I'm not planning on rewatching it, but just letting everybody know. So I tried to start watching Five Nights at Freddy's and I couldn't, but when I started it, it was like at the worst of how I felt. So I don't know if that helped or not, but I just couldn't get into it. I feel like you have to be into the game or like into that universe to really get into the movie. Maybe I'll give it another try. I'm not sure.
I still have not watched the Killing Winnie the Pooh movie.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's so good. It's bad. It's so good because it's bad. If that makes any sense. Like I would never use that to get somebody to switch over to the horror world with me.
There's a lot of movies on there that so when I was like comatose in bed the week before last week, whenever I was sick.
I love that you call it comatose. We might have had the same thing, Joey.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, I
felt that way.
I couldn't get out of bed and like I would be like looking out the window from my bed and everything was just like spinning and I was like I was drugged. I was like, I'm not getting up. I can't. It was I slept for like 4 days in a row. I watched because I was watching the live TV option on Peacock, and I watched Shrek and Shrek 2 like 6 times over and over again. Like one would play, the second would play, and I'd go back to the first one, and I'm just like this, like 6 different times. I know those movies start to finish.
I love Shrek, but fun fact, I like it in Spanish. I need to watch it in English. I always watch it in Spanish. Yeah. But I should go back and I thought it was great in Spanish, but I should go back and watch it in English. My favorite Shrek is Bad Bunny now. Bad Bunny as Shrek is my favorite thing in the world.
I tried to watch because I'm a child at heart. On Disney Plus, that the Santa Claus show that they made with Tim Allen. Mm-hmm. They made a show out of it, and it came out last year. This year they came out with season 2. It's really not anything spectacular. It's an 8-episode show. Each episode's like 25 minutes. It's made for kids. Honestly, I could not get through the first episode. Like Santa Claus was like the guy who wanted to be like take over being Santa Claus was Fluffy, the comedian.
Oh no!
I'm like, why the hell is this guy in?
Yeah.
Why is he in this movie or this show? It was just like if you were on drugs, it would make sense to you. Like that's the kind of movie the show it is.
Okay, I'm not gonna watch that.
Are you like Snow White right now? What's with the birds?
It's Puerto Rico. It's not cold, so the birds sing all year long. And this bird has been living by my window, and I gotta tell you something. In the morning,
you're like a princess.
It's lovely in the morning.
It is.
I don't talk to it though, but it's gotta be like when my mom came took care of me, started singing. I was like, oh, my friends saying thank you. And my mom is like, that's so pretty.
It's came out of nowhere. Like just started talking. Like it's the middle.
I mean, it sounds a lot better than the cars with the music.
Yeah. It honestly, it sounds like it's sunny and like 80 degrees by you right now.
It is. It is.
Of course it is. Sun's gone here. It's 32 degrees.
Like, there's literally a palm tree outside of my window too, not to like grow it in or anything.
Maybe that's why I'm so all over the place, because I was in like these beautiful places last week or so, and now I'm back here with this.
Somebody in the chat said I thought I was tripping out. I guess you can all hear my friend the bird. We should get the bird. We should get the bird a name.
It got quiet for a second. And I thought it was like a phone ringtone or something. I was like,
no. He said I just know.
Like East is in the park right now. Like
I'm gonna try to spot it and see, like, if I go to balcony, if I can actually see it. But I don't wanna. I don't wanna scare it away. It does this every day. It's the cutest thing. Like, it actually, it brings me joy. I will say that.
That's how you know it's all messed up here. That bird just gave me life. I was like, it sounds like it's so beautiful out over there right now.
Let me check.
Like the early morning, you're just waking up. You're like, yeah, today's gonna be a great day. 80 degrees, sun, blue skies.
82 degrees and sunny.
See, I was close.
And there's still daylight at 5 p.m.
Not over here. People say New York is so great.
New York is great. New York is great.
But like, what do you like about it? Before we wrap up the show, like, what do you like about New York? Because
I think New York is more of an attitude than it is like the place itself. But I think I told you this before. New York is the only place where I always felt I made sense. Everywhere else I go, I feel like I don't belong. Like, it's the only place where I always felt like I belong. Like, this is it. And maybe I have a theory that in a prior life I was a born and raised New Yorker. Because I made sense there. And I love the attitude. I love that everybody just like minds their own business, goes and do their own thing. I love that everybody hustles. And if you don't hustle enough, somebody's there to take your spot. Like, it's such a competitive environment. When people say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, it's not a matter of, like, it's not the glamorous way. They're just talking about in every sense in the world. Like, if you're not ready to work hard for your spot, if you're not, even for your spot at the freaking subway, if you're moving too slow, they'll throw you out of the way to get in that train before you. Like, and it gives you such a hustler mentality that you can go anywhere else, but it also desensitizes you to so many things that still to this day, I'm also like in Puerto Rico, like sometimes I'm still like, why are these people so nice to me right now? Why are you being so nice to me? You're sus. What do you want from me? You know what I mean? Because, but I feel like New York it's more of an attitude than it is the place, and it gives you a whole different mentality that I just can't describe anywhere, that you will get anywhere else in the world, like no matter what big city you live. But for me, I make sense there. I went to New York and I learned it and I loved it, and I just know that you don't have that reaction to New York naturally your first time. And that's how I felt the first time. And I knew I would live there, and I didn't leave because I wanted to, but I don't see going back to New York as a non-option. Like, it will probably eventually happen, but it was a thing that I got to do and all that. But even coming back here, which is home, where I was born and raised, I still don't feel like I belong the way that I did in New York. I feel out of place. I feel like these people don't know what I'm about here. Where in New York, no, people don't come off that way to me. So yeah, I love New York then, now, forever.
Okay, WWE. No, I get overwhelmed by New York sometimes. We're just like, I'm just trying to do my thing, and it's like I gotta deal with all this stuff, and like I'm a type of person that, like, for me, a stress reliever, it's gonna be really funny. A stress reliever for me is I get in my car, I cruise down to Target, walk around, whatever, or find a place to just go chill. That's not the case in New York City. You gotta like, it's like that scene.
Yeah, but sometimes you had a really rough day.
Man dolls, and you're just like scratching and clawing just to get out of the store.
Yeah, but sometimes when you had a really rough day in New York, I don't know. I see New York like as a person. Like, you know what I mean?
In the summer. In the
summer is great, but I always liked it. I mean, it's not glamorous in the winter and the slush everywhere. And sometimes you take a step and you don't realize there's slush there and your whole outfit is ruined. Yeah, I've been there, done that in designer. You know, it's like New York hasn't always been nice to me, but it taught me a lot.
Yeah, no, it has its pros and cons. For me, it's more of a preference. That's kind of what it is. Like, I just don't.
I also learned to appreciate quiet and silence because of New York. New York is so loud that I never had such an appreciation for, can we just be quiet? Like, because you will get home and I would just be like, I'm going to go lock myself in my room for like 10 minutes. Don't nobody talk to me. And like you, I don't know, it teaches you a lot. But I tell everybody, and it's not for everybody. Like, I don't expect anybody to love New York the way that I do, because it's just, I know it's not for everybody.
Yeah. Samantha just made a really great point in the chat, and we already went over the hour. We were like, we're going to do a shorter show today. We're both not feeling well. Already over the hour. Samantha says, here's a topic for you. Pathetic Christmas tree lighting. One of the worst I ever saw in my entire life. I was so excited that Kelly Clarkson was hosting. I don't know why Cher was there. Why was Barry Manilow there? I don't know what was happening. It was ridiculous. It was honestly the most atrocious thing I ever watched.
Speaking of things I don't like about New York, I used to work at 53rd and 6th. So close to the 3. This time of the year, that job location was a nightmare because everybody wants to see the damn tree. The tree's not even that cute.
No, it's
just a big giant tree with some crazy stupid light bulbs. That's all there is.
It's so stupid that I'm going to see it on Thursday.
Like, you say like for your like getaway, like you will like drive somewhere and chill. In New York this time of the year, I will go either there or Bryant Park and just watch people fall on their asses in the ice skating rings. Oh my god, nothing made me happier than
little
that.
Happy couples are like, we love each other.
Pong.
Oh.
Oh my god, that is the best way to like get over a rough day. People be like, oh, you want to do it? No. So somebody else can sit over here and make fun of me? I don't think so.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
I'm looking forward to a nice, about a week in January in Tampa, Florida, chilling with my bestie Issa. You know,
yeah. If I get sick after the Rumble, it's definitely a curse because that's similar weather to here.
Well, think of it like this: if you get sick, I'm gonna get sick, and if I get sick, you're gonna get sick. So we need to
no, I can't.
Take our boosters and be good.
No, you don't understand, like Joey. I have gotten sick after pretty much every. The only one I didn't get sick after, you know what? It was SummerSlam. We were there together. Maybe you're my good luck charm.
Yeah, because you didn't.
No, you know what it is? It's the weather. I had to go to warm places, and WWE keeps sending me to cold places. LA for Mania was awfully cold. I don't care what anybody says. That it should not have been that cold.
We'll get ready for Philly.
Yeah, but
Philly just
But you expect Philly to be cold. You don't expect LA to be as cold as it was. It was like in the 40s. In April, like what? And I used to work in LA. I used to spend 2 weeks in LA, and I remember spending an Easter in LA. So it's around the same time, and it wasn't that cold, like at all.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that just about does it for today's show.
Yeah, we did it.
A bunch of fun topics. We had some fun. We talked about Grand Theft Auto. We talked about Britney Spears or Jamie Spears and titty milk, and you know, all the fun stuff. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good. I'm glad that I was able to make it through the show. I'm excited. I want to thank everybody in the chat. So many familiar names. I appreciate it and missed you guys. Hopefully, I'll be able to come back tonight and we'll get right back into it.
Absolutely, and thank you for all the super chats today. We really do appreciate it. We always say about being a content creator. Oh, look at that.
I'm Snow White. What you got?
We're the birds. Bring the birds, baby.
I should have done that when the bird was singing. It would have been over. That's
gonna be one of your things on your show.
Yeah, I gotta clip that.
Clip the birds. But yes, thank you everyone for tuning in for episode 55 of TLR. Issa and I. This is our social hour of the week. We like to hang out with you guys every Tuesday, and we've both been.
I look forward to this, Joey. This is therapeutic for me. Like even you told me, it's like if you're up to it, and I'm like, I will spray the crap out of my throat. I'm making it because I look forward to talking to you in our wonderful chat every week about random topics. I know we do end up talking about wrestling, but I just love having that 1 hour where I just talk about things that are fun to talk about and not just wrestling. Yeah, you know what it is? It's because we can't get away from wrestling, so like it comes up naturally in the show. It's not forced, and it's not the job, as the other things. Like it comes up naturally, and that's what makes it like that Zen hour for us. So I get it. Oh God, I gotta go check Twitter. Dylan says Issa Snow White with the birds is already on Twitter. Oh, that's a great way to sign off. Absolutely. Thank you guys for another great episode. We will see you next week. Hopefully Issa feels better. Hopefully I feel better. And we'll rock next week, episode 56. We'll see you guys later. Bye.